Mike. All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 14th, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Everybody, thank you for finding the value in my content. Love that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the kind comments. Appreciate that. Thank you to all my members out there that pay their subscriptions and to be a part of the program. Thank you. Appreciate all of that, and the trial members. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so SPY pivot this morning, 550-250 above it. I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. All right, all of the Fab Five are in daily downtrends. All right, all made lower highs and lower lows yesterday, closing below bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Gold and silver, both in daily uptrends. Gold made a new all-time high. Silver made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. USO in a daily downtrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG, high flyer here, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the rising 17. US dollar index still in a downtrend. Hey, we love that. Closed near the 103.42 area. SPY max pain is 567. Well, wouldn't it be nice if they go after that? All right, with a put to call ratio 1.6 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. Would be nice if they rally up to 567. We'll see. That's max pain, and we have a possible put squeeze on the table. So we'll see. We're already gapping up. Will they let the bears out? All right, let's go take a look at some charts. First chart, SPY 10-minute chart. Price action candles and the 3 EMA. That's the yellow line. All right, underneath the white line. Okay, so we have a bearish downtrend. Okay, so we got a downtrend coming into the close at 4 p.m. yesterday. Okay, so there's a 10-minute downtrend. So we're looking for a continuation of that 10-minute downtrend. All right, so we're looking for a red candle. All right, I don't think we're going to get it because we're way up here. All right, so we're looking for a red candle. All right, can't be a topping wick, so it can't be one of these right here. I'll circle it or box it in for us. Okay, can't be a topping wick candle that's red like that. Okay. Actually, if we're looking for a red candle, it can be that. Okay, we can't be looking for this candle right here. Okay, it's got more tail than body and wick. What am I thinking? All right, it's not this one. All right, it's getting early in the morning here. All right, so we can't have a candle that has more tail than it has body and wick. All right, because we want something where the bears have control. All right, can't be a green candle. All right, and it can't be a doji or a spinning top. Okay, there's a little doji right there. All right, little doji right here, spinning top. No spinning tops, no dojis. All right, so that's the entry for the 10-minute downtrend. We're way up here. I don't think we're going to be getting that. I think we're going to be looking for green candles. All right, that's what I think. We'll see what happens. All right, and let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, we have, again, price action candles underneath the 3 EMA. Okay, underneath the 8 EMA. So we have a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend on the daily chart. Same thing. Price action candles and the 3 EMA underneath the 8 EMA. So we got a daily downtrend. All right. If we look back over here, okay, you can see the lows here set by the SPY. All right, we made lower lows, so we're in a daily downtrend. All right, if we look at this on the quad lines up here, okay, price action moves up, gives it up, so that's neutral. All right, so it moves up and gives it up. So that's just neutral for SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at game plan. And we'll look at that on the 10-minute chart. All right, you can see price action is up over the green erases red entry. All right, so I got a feeling we're not looking for red candles this morning. We're probably going to be looking for green candles. All right, okay, because why? Because we got a bullish green erases red entry right up here over 550, 450. All right, so you can see price action we'd be looking for an entry candle, nothing with a topping wick, no spinning tops, no dojis, and no red candles. All because we're up over, right here, our green erases red entry, moving to the upside. I like, all right, 7 days till expiration options and 14 days till expiration options. Both should expire on Friday, either one. All right, I like Friday options because they got more open interest. I like $2 to $5 out of the money because they're more affordable and they offer less risk. All right, everything is risky, but this offers less risk. All right, and they're cheaper. All right, so if you got a small account, you're able to get a few more than you could if you were buying in the money. Now, if you want the very best performing option, it's always going to be the 0 DTE in the money option. Will pretty much give you the penny for penny movement price match within the option and the price action candle of the underlying security. That would be the SPY. All right, so there's SPY 10-minute game plan. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. Okay, QQQ, same thing. See how we're gapping up over the green line? Again, we're looking for green candles, okay, no spinning tops, no dojis, no topping wicks, no red candles, all right, as an entry for a bullish green to the upside. All right, now lately we have been filling gaps, so be careful with this, all right, this bullish gap. I would not doubt it if they try to fill that gap. I don't know when they're going to do it, but I wouldn't doubt it if they try to fill the gap. And being since we closed down here, all right, it'd be a long drop down from where we are right now. So there's QQQ game plan. Again, over 470, 170, that's the green entry. Underneath 466.80, that's the bearish red erases green entry. QQQ pivot. 469.40. All right. Again, same options. I like 7 days till expiration, Friday options, or 14 days till expiration, Friday options. $2 to $5 out of the money. All right. There's QQQ. Let's look at this on the daily chart, and you can see a lower high and a lower low as compared to the previous day. Underneath the trap, okay, see here's the little area, see the space between the 3 and the 8, all right, the yellow line and the white line, so they're closing, they close down here, underneath the trap, underneath the falling 17, that's the red dots up here that are covered by the pink line, okay, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, all right, this is QQQ. All right, down here in quadrant 1, that's bearish. Okay, move up, give it up, and more, that's bearish. Okay, down here in quadrant 1, that's QQQ. All right, let's take a look at IWM. All right, here's IWM. Okay, lower high. Okay, everybody got the same candle. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap. See the yellow line, the white line, okay, under the trap, under the falling 17, that's the green dots, the red dots right here, okay, under the falling 17, under the all-time high, that's the all-time high over here, all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, down here in quadrant 1, that's bearish, okay, there's IWM. We are hitting support, Okay, this looks like the all-time high anchored VWAP, a prior all-time high anchored VWAP right here. Okay, so we're hitting that it looks like today or yesterday. All right, so we could see a bounce. All right, in the near future after spiking this, tagging it, touching it, kissing it. All right after that, we could see some excitement and price action start moving in the other direction. Okay, there's IWM on the daily chart. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap. All right, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Under the falling 17, that's the red dots. Okay, under the uptrend line. See, that's the gold line. Under the dash, that's the midpoint of the quads. Right there, see that? Under the midpoint line. Okay, down here in the lower third, okay, that's bearish. All right, Diamond Dow bearish. QQQ bearish. All right, IWM bearish. Everything's bearish. All right, let's take a look at, we got one more. FNGA. This is the new ticker here. Again, lower high. Everybody got the same candle. Lower high, lower low. Closing under a trap. Under the falling 17 right here. Okay. Here's the dots. All right. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay. There's the all-time high. That's the pink line right there. Under the uptrend line. Under the midpoint, okay, down here in the lower third, okay, that's bearish, okay. So I am expecting a bounce today, kind of led by, you can see pre-market activity. I don't know how high we go, maybe back to the 8 EMA. For some of these, we'll see how far they want to go. All right, so even though they're bearish, they may act bullish today. I'm just saying. All right, we'll see what happens. That's FNGA. All right, let's take a look at our technicals, T2122. This is what happened on the 15-minute T2122. Okay, you can see we opened up, all right, and ripped up into the seller's chop zone. The bears threw us out. Okay, and then we came down here to try to camp out in the sell zone. And the bears came in there and threw us out, okay? So we wound up back here in the oversold zone, all right? Camping out for the rest of the day after making lower highs and lower lows, all right? I had hope here. We were starting a trend, but they broke the trend that was starting right through here. See, here's a low. Then we got a little higher low, and then another little higher low, and then another little higher low, and then we rocketed up here to the seller's chop zone. Well, we broke that up yesterday. Okay, so maybe the next trend from this low to this low, and maybe we kind of melt up out of there. We'll find out. There's T2122. Okay, we also got another trend kind of materializing right here. You can see price action from this high to this high down to here. So got to break this trend line. All right, that would be nice to see us break this trend line. Unfortunately, they don't have us possibly breaking that trend line till maybe next week. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll run up there and challenge it today or spike it. We'll see what happens. So there's T2122 right there. All right. Let's take a look at T2123. All right, T2123, just unabashed selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, okay? Bearish gap. Notice the bearish gap's not getting filled, all right? That's why I'm saying I got a good hunch. We got a bullish gap. Good chance that thing's going to get filled. All right, so T2123, selling, all right, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, underneath the red falling 200 SMA, underneath two prior all-time highs right there. Let's take a look at it on the 3-bar chart. Okay, you can see we got a lower high and we got a lower low. All right, so whenever we get a higher low, we're hoping the bulls get inspired to what? make a higher high. All right. See what happens? You get a lower low, lower high here. Now the bears get inspired to make a lower low. All right. So yesterday on the 3-bar chart, again, 3 more red candle bars closing underneath these 2 prior all-time highs right there. There's T21.23. Okay, the all-time high is right up here. Okay, that's the all-time high, right up here where the crosshairs are. All right, so I'd like to see price at least get back and challenge that fading 200 SMA. All right, but it's going to take a long time to get this ship turned around. All right, let's take a look at FNGA. All right, so we had nothing but mostly all selling yesterday from FNGA. Looked like some accumulation was happening here. Maybe we got some more starting in the pre-market. We'll see. Okay, selling from the beginning of the day, red, all the way to the end of the day with a little VWAP challenge. Never getting on top of VWAP here. Still caught underneath on the 15-minute chart, this falling 200 SMA. All right, still caught underneath the pink line, the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still caught underneath the uptrend line. All right, so when will the bulls show up? We'll see. Well, when they start making higher highs and start filling bearish gaps. Notice we didn't fill this bearish gap. Okay, we're not filling any bearish gaps, and we're not making any higher highs. Okay, so when we start making higher highs, that's when the bulls will start showing up. Okay, so there's FNGA. All right, now we watch the FNGA because it's got 10 of the most heavily weighted stocks, securities, okay, in the QQQ and the SPY. So we keep an eye on that because those 10 securities have the unique ability, because they're so weighted inside of both of those indexes, that they can rip the market in whatever direction they move into. So when they move as a pack into one direction, they can jerk the market or those indexes right along with it. So they're kind of like the leash, and the indexes are kind of like the dog. So wherever these move, they'll jerk the indexes along with them. So if you can get them moving up instead of down, they will then turn the market around and start it moving up. Okay, currently they're moving down. Hence, we got a daily downtrend. All right, if they start moving up, they will jerk the market up with them. Okay, just those 10. That's all it takes to move the QQQ and the SPY. Okay, so there's FNGA on the 15-minute chart. All right, let's go take a look at a few sectors. First sector we'll take a look at, how about XLE? All right, here's the energy sector, okay? Not doing anything wonderful. Again, it likes to move up and give it up. You can see all the peaks, moving up, give it up, move it up, move it up and give it up. See, it just makes a habit out of moving up and giving it up. Just not comfortable up here yet. Okay, price action for yesterday. Okay, outside day, higher high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling 17. That's the red dots here. Okay, underneath the 12-month high, 12-month high anchored VWAP here. That's the pink line. Underneath downtrend line 1, underneath downtrend line 2, underneath midpoint, okay? So absolutely nothing bullish going on here, okay? Don't be confused, all right? There's nothing bullish making lower highs and lower lows, okay? Nothing's bullish here. Not till we get over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, start breaking some downtrend lines, start breaking some stuff around here, okay? Until then, we're still just neutral, all right? Even when we tried to get bearish, we got down and they gave it up there. So they seem to keep coming back to this midpoint. All right, so there's XLE, just neutral. All right, let's take a look at UNG, high flyer. Okay, price action. Okay, needs to cool off, and it's cooling off a little bit here. Okay, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the rising 17. Okay, up here in the upper third, that's still bullish up there. As long as it stays over this pliers top right here, that's still bullish. all right, over the 12-month high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Okay, it's just a little hot. All right, it needs to cool off, and it could cool off for a couple weeks. All right, it's done well. It's doing really well. Okay, get a little pliers top here and a tweezer top to contend with. All right, so it's got to cool off. Like to see it consolidate, move over to the right for 2 weeks, even a month. All right, and then build a nice base to launch off of and come up here and attack those tweezer tops right over there on the beginning of the 2024. All right, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO, all right, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, closed under the bearish trap, closed under the falling 17, closed under the buy box, under the midpoint, under the uptrend line, okay? Down here in the lower third, this is bearish, moving up, giving it up, and more, that's bearish, all right? And under the uptrend line, okay? So USO, still bearish. Not until we start breaking some uptrends, start making some higher highs, okay? Still bearish, all right? There's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals. GLD, I'll just be brief with this one. New all-time high, okay? Enough said. Can't say anything more about it, all right? The new all-time high says it all. Let's take a look at SLV. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the 12-year high. That's a 12-year high. Even though it starts in October, that's a 12-year high anchored VWAP right there. Of course, the all-time high is 48, all right? So that was a new 12-year high. Okay, the all-time high is 48. So closing over the 12-year high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. Closing over the trap, over the rising 17. Up here in quadrant 1, notice we're closing for more than 4 or 5 days, okay, up over the 12-year high anchored VWAP. Hence, we are rewarded. See, they did it before with a breakout. This one got rejected. This one may hold, all right? We are rewarded with a breakout to the upside. All right, like to see them do it again. Again, cool off, consolidate. No rush to get to 48. Take your time. All right, consolidate. Put in some nice consolidation and then launch up higher. That's what I'd like to see. There's silver. I fully expect silver to re-challenge this high. Okay, made in October. That's the 12-year high. All right, we'll see what happens here. There's silver. So, okay, we just did energy. We just did precious metals. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH got a, I got to zoom in. Outside day, okay, that's a higher high and a lower low. Closing in the trap. See, it's inside the trap. Under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, down here in the lower third. It's still bearish. But they could turn it around and start moving it up and create a little mini bull flag, all right? They're still bearish down here, okay? Notice they move up, they give it up, and more. That's bearish. Okay, there's SMH, XOK. All right? XOK, bearish down here, okay? Notice they move up. All right, see they move up. They give it up and more. That's bearish down here in the lower third. Okay, price action, lower high, lower low. No favors done for us there. Closing under the trap, under the 17. That's the red dots covered by the pink line. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right there. Under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, under just about underneath everything. All right, so that's bearish. Okay, no higher highs, no higher lows. Okay, today could be the day. Maybe we'll see. All right, maybe today they'll change things around. We'll see. All right, right now bearish. Just play the candles and the price action in front of you. Okay, don't play the hope game. All right, just play the price action candles that are in front of you. Okay, if they're moving up, making little 15-minute highs and higher 15-minute lows, all right, then you play that uptrend. Just play the candle that's in front of you, all right, the candles. Okay, look over to the left to find the support and resistance, but you want to stick to the price action you're currently working with. All right, let's take a look at XLF. All right, here's the financials inside day. Okay, that's a lower high and a higher low, closing underneath the trap, underneath the red 17 EMA. That's the red dots underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, no longer in the upper third where it was bullish up there. So moving up and giving it up, that's just neutral. Okay, so you move up, you give it up, that's neutral. You give it up and more, that's bearish. Okay, so there's XLF on the daily charts. Take a look at IYT. Okay, no favors here either. Okay, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under a falling 17 EMA. Okay, under an uptrend line, under an all-time high anchored VWAP, under a midpoint. Okay, down here in quadrant 1, again moving up, giving it up, moving up, giving it up, and more. That's bearish. Okay, so there's IYT. Let's take a look at the economic package. All right, we'll start off with SPY Max Pain for today. SPY Max Pain for the options that expire today is 567. Wouldn't it be nice if we hit 567? And we have 1.6 calls for each put. 1.6 puts for each call. Okay, that expires today. So you got a little bit more puts than we got calls. Okay, if they gap up, all right, and they choose to do the short squeeze or the put squeeze, all right, it's imperative that they do not let the puts out. In other words, they do not create a place where there is a huge dip for the puts to double down and get out. They have to keep pressure constant and melt it to the upside, all right? So watch for that to possibly happen. We'll see, all right? Has to be slow melting up pain, all right, for the puts to cause them to to abandon their puts, in other words, and to buy more calls, all right? Or to cover their short positions. All right? So there's SPY on the max pain, all right? Let's take a look at the dollar, all right? Dollar's in a downtrend. Okay? This is the dollar index making lower highs. There's a high, that's a lower high, making lower lows, lower high, lower low, again, lower high, lower low, all right? Notice we came down through this peaks right here. That was minor support. We're underneath the peaks, actually challenging a little bit of major support, breaking through there. Wouldn't it be nice if we break through here? Looks like we almost did. Almost got through this low right here. Be nice to get down here and consolidate in a nice bear flag. We'll see what happens. We like a weak dollar, makes our goods and services more competitive against other foreign nations selling the same stuff, okay? And that, hopefully, we bring in more revenue, all right? That's the whole deal. You want to bring in more revenue to the U.S. companies, all right? So when we have a cheap dollar, it's easier to do that because the currency conversion rate, in other words, they have to pay us in U.S. dollars. So they got to take their currency, convert it to U.S. dollars, and when the conversion rate costs them more, all right, then it costs them more to buy our goods and services. But if we have a cheaper dollar, it doesn't cost them as much. Therefore, we become more competitive on the global stage or in the global markets. All right, let's take a look at the economic calendar. Not much happening today. I'm going to say we reported CPI on Wednesday. I got to tell you, it looked really good. It looked better than I expected. All right, with everybody talking about $6 a dozen eggs. All right, it looked pretty good. CPI did, and PPI. PPI looked good too yesterday. All right, so CPI and PPI look good. So supposedly Mr. Powell's going to speak next Wednesday or Tuesday, not sure what day. All right, I don't think he's going to have much to say. Probably going to say he's going to be hawkish, but that's their job to be hawkish. Okay, but really nothing to fuss about. Okay, jobless claims haven't been that horrible. All right, so everything's looking good. All right, so maybe might lower rates or talk about it because things are looking good as far as CPI and PPI. Again, it's just 1 month or 1 week. All right, that doesn't make a trend. All right, but it is looking good. All right. Consumer sentiment comes out today at 10 o'clock. Rig count at 1. Again, really light day as far as the economic calendar goes. I can hit the earnings calendar. I'll tell you right now, there's really nothing on it that's market moving. Okay, just some familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the markets here. Okay, that's it. Right there. Even the big boys printed good numbers, and we're still moving down. So it's really not making a big difference. All right, because NVIDIA reported great. Some of the other big cap stocks reported good numbers. All right, and we're still moving down. So it looks like a healthy profit taking is happening right now. All right, so we could see a bounce. Maybe today, maybe next week. We'll see what happens. We just hit 550 on SPY. That is a psychological number for traders, okay? All right, it's where they may want to take some profit, all right, and then let the others, let the bounce happen. We'll see what happens here. All right, so that's it, traders. I'll take questions in the room. I see something here. SPY yesterday, you had a downtrend line. You thought price might go through it. It was close to yesterday's open. Let me take a look. Let me revisit that. All right, let's take a look at it on 10-minute. All right, and this was, I had a downtrend line. I want to make sure I know what he's saying. That went from here to there. Okay, that was my downtrend line from yesterday. All right, and I thought price may visit it. Okay, so we'll see. After making a higher low, you can see we're at that downtrend line right now. All right, you can see price action is up there. Is that the question, Rickster? Is that answer the question? You can see the blue triangle right here and the downtrend line that I had. All right, so we're at that downtrend line. Okay, now it'd be nice to get on top of that downtrend line, but it's very possible we hit this downtrend line and fill gap. Okay, because we're still bearish. All right, we may have put in a higher low. All right, but it's possible that we fill gap after hitting this downtrend line and just fill gap. We'll see what happens. Now, if they get up on top of this downtrend line and consolidate in a bullish manner, all right, okay, we could be going after 565, 567. That is max pain. We'll see what happens. All right, we could see a melt up if they get on top of this and consolidate. All right, so we'll take a look at it. Same chart. All right, it's number 4, scratch. Okay, we'll look at it with the pre-market on there. Okay. And kind of sets up a little bit different with the pre-market mapping out here. Of course, we could pull it in just a little bit here. Right there. Okay, that's with the pre-market activity. Okay, so we'll see if they can get up here, maybe hold the 557 in a bullish manner. We could see him challenge. See this breakdown candle high? So we could see them challenge this breakdown candle high, which is located at 559.19. Okay, that would be my first target on the bullish side. All right, the next target up would be right here. This breakdown candle high, which would be 561.57. Okay, if they start acting bullish and producing a bull flag, consolidating up here, this will be my first target. 559.19, second target 561.50, 70 right there. Those are both of my two upside targets. Yes. Like to see it consolidate up here, okay? It very well could come back down and fill the bullish gap, all right? It's very possible that's what it does. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. All right, traders, I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes, all right? And we'll kick this market open, all right? I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes.